We've got Alek Manoah, Jay's starter on FT. Alek, great to have you on here for the first time, actually, and one of the best interviews in baseball. How you doing, and how's the recovery process going, man?
Yeah, man. First off, thank you guys for having me. Thank you for being
You're
here.
welcome.
Excited to be on the show with you guys, and I'm feeling great, man. Arms feeling amazing. Rehab's been great. So excited to start getting out there.
What's the day? What's the day we're going to see you on a mound?
Well, I feel
like against hitters. Now I know,
Yeah.
like against other teams, other teams hitters.
I start bullpens. So this is the first week of like back-to-backs. So that's like a pretty big deal. And then next week I start at the end of the week, get off the mound, and then from there it's kind of feels a little bit more normal. Like bullpens twice a week, some heavy days, some lighter days, work on the mechanics a little bit, and then probably about 3 months from there, sometime, probably start facing hitters, some IBPs.
Are you bored?
No, I found ways to keep myself.
Well, I was gonna say, because
busy.
in spring training, everyone's running around. I got to catch a bus. I got to throw a pen, and
Yeah.
you're just kind of like, oh, well, I don't know what.
I'm like, I'm gonna run over here and watch pens. I'm gonna run over here and do PFPs.
You're like, I get to throw 90 feet today, guys. It's a big day.
Yeah, huge day. Like today, I went up to Chad Green. He's been helping me a ton through this, and obviously he just went through it previously. And I'm like, hey man, big week. I got back-to-back days today. He's like, whoa. So only the guys that have been through it kind of understand, but I find ways to stay busy.
All right, that's good. That's good. Apparently, you didn't go to a barber while you have been on.
No, we're just letting it flow.
How
I like
long?
it.
Yeah, I think it's been about 2 years now. Yeah,
Sheesh.
Not one trim or anything, so just letting it flow.
Man, wow. Do you ever like think about a ponytail? You gonna go do rag underneath?
I got the ponytail.
Oh, you got the scrunchie?
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah, it comes out once I get to the weight room.
Oh, does it? You're not a headband guy.
No, not big on the headbands.
Okay, not the Bryce Harper headband that keeps it out.
I don't know. Maybe not
okay.
there yet.
Okay,
The whole hair flip and stuff. Not that used to it yet.
Okay, all right.
All right, Alek, I got a question for you. We watched you, probably to me, one of the best moments in the All-Star game where you were mic'd up. That confidence, that like swag and everything. At what point did you lose that swag and then gain it back in the sense of like in everyday life? Because you've been through injuries, you pitch for like an hour and a half once every 5 days. So,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like in everyday life, that like same Alek Manoah that we saw in the All-Star game.
Yeah, man, I think definitely, sometimes like, especially at the highest level, when you go through kind of some turmoil out on the field, it could be a little bit tough, especially, dealing with some injuries and things like that. And for me, it's been great to kind of go through that a little bit and to kind of, you kind of got to know what kind of person you are and kind of just keep that foundation, but at the same time, just continue to learn and to grow about yourself, which is something that I feel like I've been able to do. Sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth. You got to get kicked down to know how to get up, Those are things that you can't really mimic or practice. Those are things that you got to go through to learn. So for me, it's been a great journey. And for me, being able to have my family around me, some really great teammates, and just really amazing people in my corner that are always pushing me and supporting me. I kind of feel like it allows me to continue to have my swag and my confidence, even if we're dealing with some injuries and we're kind of going through it a little bit,
What happened? Because you were, like Kratzy said, you were on top of the world, and then all of a sudden you're in AAA.
Yeah.
Not long after.
Yeah.
What happened? Like, did something change? Because everyone, we've heard all the things, like whatever you want to say, what happened, but you tell us, because I mean, it was like from here, and then all of a sudden where's AAA? Syracuse?
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Well, I think definitely, obviously, came off of the most innings I've ever thrown before, coming off of the year previous to that, the most innings I've ever thrown before. And I'm always the kind of guy that's going to take the ball, man. I want to go out there and compete. I want to go out there and fight for my guys. And, sometimes like your body just isn't able to do it, and for me, after 22, I dealt with, some stuff. I feel like injury-wise, my shoulder, my leg, have some health stuff. And, sometimes like you try and put that in the rear view and like, I can go do this. Like, I just got in the league and, I'm up here like, okay, what does it matter if I'm at 60%? What does it matter if I'm at 70%? I'm going to go out there and compete. But when you're focused on yourself and you're not focused on how to get Mike Trout out, like you're kind of fighting yourself while fighting him, and it's hard. And, obviously you've played and and for me, it was just something where, you know, I kept going through that year, like it's gonna click, it's gonna click, it's gonna click. I'm gonna find it. I was a little behind in camp, and it just never clicked for me. And then, obviously the struggles of the day to day, it could be like that. And obviously we're a contending team, so any other organization, probably I would have gone through some of those headaches, still at the big league level. But this team's trying to win a World Series every year, and there's really no time for that. So, I feel like everybody kind of needs that come into life moment, and you kind of got to get punched in the mouth to know what you're made of, and to know what you're built like. So for me, it's about, there's a lot of people that don't even get to that height of the mountain. So for me to be able to get there, and yeah, you know what, we struggled, and yeah, there's a lot of people that can say what they want or opinions, and that doesn't matter, because for me, I know I'm working my butt off, each and every day to be right back there again and help this team win.
You kind of alluded to it. We talk about, like, I hate when guys are like, oh, he was rushed to the big leagues. Would it have been better if you got that adversity, hit that adversity while you were in the minor leagues and not in the big leagues?
No, not at all. That everybody goes through a learning curve when they get to the big leagues, right? Everybody goes through a learning curve from single A to double A, from double A to triple A, from triple A to the big leagues. So, that learning curve, clearly I didn't need it at the minor league level. And, that's why our front office and everybody, and where our team was in 2021, when I did come up, this is where my development, my learning curve was going to come. So for me, there's no regret on that. And, and I'll never say like, oh, they should have had me on that's, like, I'm going to take on, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to compete as hard as I can. And, whatever the outcome is, and I'm still going to do that. So really all the outside noise, top of the world, bottom of the world, none of that matters to me. In hindsight, in 20 years, I know I'm going to look back and be like, hey, there were some ups, there were some downs, but it was a good career, and that's what I hope to be able to say, to be able to do. And for me, it's a part of the story to be able to help the next generation. It's something I really like to do, and sometimes when it's all apples and oranges and it's really easy, man, there's really not something that you can help that next guy that is dealing with something. So for me, it's part of my story. It'll be a part of how I'm able to help people, and just continue to work my butt off to be right back where we need to be.
Alek, I'm going to take us back to the origin of that question when they're talking about you at the All-Star game being mic'd up, which was awesome. I'm a fan, right? I'm the non-player here, host on the show, so I'm always looking for that access. How do you think MLB can, better market players and our sport and get the sport, back more to what it was in the 80s and 90s, just in terms of popularity, right? And being able to go toe to toe with football and basketball and get the national coverage that it deserves, which is what we do every day.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you guys are, obviously doing a great job, I think obviously the analytics in the game are great. But I think the biggest thing is we all started off as kids that with a dream, and everybody that's playing in the big leagues, I hope, is a kid that's living their dream, and there's a lot of kids right now that are dreaming to be where we're at. And I remember myself, as a kid, like, man, I'm a romantic about baseball, and I used to wake up at 6, 7 in the morning and just watch SportsCenter reruns every 30 minutes, growing up, until my parents woke up, until there was any action in the house. But it was just a lot easier to kind of understand which players were really good. Like you saw Bonds and Sosa and McGuire and all these guys hitting 50, 60 homers. The batting average, I don't know, I feel like it was just a little bit easier to understand, for kids. And I think that's the big thing, for the marketing stuff, is like, we got all these alphabet, statistics and analytics up there that I don't even understand them at 27 years old, some of them, so how are we going to convince a 7-year-old, like, hey, no, this is how it's calculated? And so I just think kind of like simplifying it a little bit. And, I feel like the league does a great job of trying to show off our personalities. That's something that I feel like some of the other leagues do a really good job of, kind of not just pinning us as, you know, just baseball players, baseball pants and a jersey and a hat on, you know, but more about our families and who we are off the field and the things we like to do. So I feel like when fans are able to engage and those behind the scenes, they feel like they're kind of going through it with us and, you know, learning about who we are, not just the fastball or the slider or the home run or the, oh, he's fast. And I feel like that really helps grow the game.
All right. Did you see Travis Hunter's comments about Shohei Ohtani, whose job is tougher?
Yeah, I did see that. See that.
Which do you think is tougher? His job, Travis Hunter's job, or Shohei Ohtani's job?
I mean, what he does is pretty remarkable. You know, he goes out there and plays both sides of the ball and a ton of snaps and, you know, plays 200 snaps a game or whatever. I feel like that's pretty tough physically, but at the same time, you know, it's basically like he's playing the same position, but on other sides of the ball. Whereas, you know, Shohei's playing two completely different positions, two completely different sides of the ball, hitting, pitching. You know, obviously as a baseball player, I have to say what Shohei does is definitely harder. I think mentally it's harder. Travis on the physical side might be harder, but you know, just the fact that he's, you know, rehabbing TJ and just won an MVP on the offensive side is pretty impressive. So, yeah, I got to say what he's doing is harder.
I'm all in. You know, it wasn't hard though, Kratz and Scott. Austin, my son, he's a senior in high school. They recently played South Dade and whooped their ass 9-3. So
did they?
bragging rights are nice. And he went to South.
Yeah, they miss Alec. That's why they miss
right.
Alec.
They got one ring. And I was on that team. So.
Oh, there you go. Nice. I got one ring too. So we're good. We're even.
Exactly. Well, Alec, this was awesome to have you on here. Hopefully we'll catch you again during the season, and good luck with the rehab as you keep going there, man. We're excited to see you back.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.